Hey guys, welcome to Random Movie Recap. Today we are going through a 2009 Japanese horror movie called Teketeke. Let's begin. In Nagoya, Japan, an office worker named Hiromi was returning home from her office. A few children were playing behind her. And while they were playing, they were talking about Teke Teke, and the kids were saying that Teke Teke was back and was cutting people in half. Hiromi gets angry when she hears this and turns around and forbids everyone to talk about Teke Teke. She then got off at a train station and was walking along the footover bridge. She feels a sudden wind, hears a scuttling sound, and is chased by an unseen fast-moving entity. She manages to hide from the threat and overhears children in a nearby building arguing over the specifics of an urban legend. As she steps onto the road, the wind picks up again, and immediately before she understood anything, her body was divided into two parts. They were arguing about Teke Teke. Sometime later, we got to see two schoolgirls, Kana and Ayaka. And that's when Ayaka's eye fell on Utsumi, a student of the school. Schoolgirl Kana Oishi is asked by her best friend and classmate, Ayaka Sekiguchi, to ask soccer player Utsumi Keita out for her. Kana obliges, and Utsumi agrees to go on a date with Ayaka. Meanwhile, when Kana returns home, her mother says that her cousin Ri has come to see her. Her cousin shows her photos of her boyfriend, but Kana kicks her out of the room because she doesn't like sharing the room with anyone. The next day, Ayaka talks to Kana about what they did on the date. And she says that Utsumi invited her home. And she says, "I'm afraid to go alone. I'd be happy to have you there too." Kana agrees to go. The next day, Utsumi shows Kana and Ayaka a news report on his cell phone about the mysterious death in Nagoya. Utsumi recalls a story he heard in elementary school about Teke Teke, a ghost with no lower extremities. When individuals walk on the overpass at night, it is said that Teke Teke will chase after them, making a Teke Teke noise as she moves along the ground, and that if they look back, she will cut them in half. Ayaka also says that if anyone survives that day, Teke Teke will kill her within 3 days. But Utsumi does not know exactly about this. Then Ayaka leaves the two and goes to the bathroom. Then Kana asks Utsumi, "Do you like Ayaka?" Utsumi says no. He says you requested it, so he went on a date. Ayaka listens to them secretly and she gets very upset. As Utsumi rides away on his bicycle, Kana and Ayaka walk back to their homes together. Ayaka upset that Utsumi seems to like Kana more than her. Angrily, Ayaka takes a different route home. Kana started walking towards the house alone, but suddenly a gust of wind startled her. We then see Ayaka walking down the overpass at the train station and thinking to apologize to Kana, but suddenly she hears Teke Teke sound and looks back. Ayaka sees Teke Teke and trips after trying to run away from her. Teke Teke severs Ayaka's upper body from her lower body and disappears along the train tracks into the night. The next morning the police came school and asked Kana and Utsumi a lot, but they could not find out anything. From then on, Kana was always afraid of the unknown. After school, Kana learns that Hiromi's boyfriend was arrested by Aichi Prefecture police officers for her murder. He denied any involvement in her death and told the authorities that he saw a woman with no lower half. The next night, Kana places a bouquet at the site of Ayaka's death. Suddenly, a gust of wind came over her and she heard a Teke Teke sound, and then she sees Teke Teke's shadow, so she doesn't look that way. After a while, Kana thinks that Teke Teke is gone, so she gets up and looks back, but she sees Teke Teke, who begins to chase her. Kana runs into Utsumi, who helps her escape on his bicycle. Kana conducts research about Teke Teke at a library, where she sees her cousin Ri Hirayama. Ri informs Kana that anyone who encounters Teke Teke and survives is said to die 3 days later. After learning this information, Kana tells her cousin that she has seen Teke Teke. After hearing this, Rei wants to help Kana. Rei takes her to Kakagawa City Scholar to learn more about Teke Teke. They visit the scholar in Kakagawa, who tells them of a woman who committed suicide in 1948 by jumping off of an overpass in Mikasa-cho. He further added that he has found out through research that Teke Teke does not like red things. He then gives them the woman's address and sends his assistant with them. The scholar's assistant, Takeda, leads them to the daughter of a landlord who lived in that area. She tells Kana, Ri, and Takeda that the woman who killed herself was a nurse named Kashima Reiko, who was assaulted and raped by an American soldier. Traumatized, Kashima associated the color red with the bleeding she experienced during the incident and discarded all red objects in her sight as a result. Afterward, Takeda informs Kana and Ri of rumors he heard in middle school, which told of a memorial built for Kashima in Mikasa-cho, which has since fallen over. Ri, who reveals that she also encountered Teketeke not long after Kana did. Now they had only 2 hours to survive. Once they get there, they can't find any memorial. Then they call Takeda and ask him to give the address of the correct memorial. After much searching in the professor's office, Takeda finds the address of the original memorial and informs them of the address. Then they realize that Kana had written the wrong address. Now they have to go another 6 kilometers. But then the security guard saw him. He entered the professor's room without permission, so the security guards caught him, but the assistant managed to tell them the last location. Drives to Mikasa-cho by nightfall with the help of directions given by Takeda. Then they find the memorial and then a gust of wind comes, and then Teketeke rushes towards them, but before that Kana and Rei lift the memorial back into its original position. This time Teketeke does not attack them, and after returning to Ri's red car, Kana and Ri notice Teketeke behind them on the road. They quickly drove away in their red car. Even after going far, Teketeke does not leave them behind. So Rei says that's inside the car all the red things should be thrown away. But that didn't work. Then they realize that the color of their car is red. So, they soon abandon the vehicle, removing red clothes and accessories from themselves as they run away. Kana runs into the forest and she sees Teketeke in front of her, and just then her phone rings. As soon as she took out the phone, she saw that the color of her phone is red. Seeing this, Teketeke was about to attack Kana, when Kana dropped the phone and Teketeke disappeared. Then Rei ran there and the two were very happy to see each other because they both survived. When Rei comes to Kana, Ri accidentally cuts her head on a branch, causing her to bleed. Teketeke jumps at Ri, slicing her in two, and appears to rush towards Kana. Sometime later, a group of children walks and discusses rumors about Kashima, and Teketeke runs behind them. In a mid-credit scene taking place 1 year later, Takeda visits Kana and her mother, who are living at a new residence. Kana, who has been in an almost catatonic state since Ri's death, is offered a red box of sweets by Takeda, which causes her to go into hysterics. The movie ends here. It's got 5.3 rating on IMDb. It has a sequel called Teke Teke 2. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this.